How to write a bibliography. APA, MLA, and Chicago format. This is a Students Teaching Students production by Patricia. What is a bibliography? A bibliography is where you write down all the media sources that you use for something. For example, a project or a report. What is a source? A source is wherever you can get information from. For example, books, websites, newspapers, and magazines. We will be focusing on books and websites in this podcast. Why do you need to write a bibliography? Sure, bibliographies take time, but the pros outweigh the cons. They can be used to give credit, so that other people know that it's not your own original idea and that you are not plagiarizing. To offer readers places where they can get more information. For your readers to check your work for accuracy. For others to know where your info came from, and so that you can remember where you got your info from, so you can refer back if you ever forget anything. Also, teachers like it when you write bibliographies. It's more professional. What to do when writing a bibliography? There are two types of bibliographies. Works cited, the media you use in your writing, and works consulted, media you read but didn't quote or use in your project. The format of a bibliography is to have it on a separate page from what you are writing. Sources are always listed in alphabetical order. Our example. For the purpose of this podcast, let's say you're doing a project on magic and magic tricks. Although you'll probably use more than just books and websites as your sources, this podcast will show you how to write a bibliography for books and websites in 3 different formats. In order to write a bibliography, you will need a certain set of information. It will be different depending on the type of media. Our example, book. To write a bibliography for a book, you need to know the title, author, year printed, publisher, and publishing city. The title and the author should be found on the front cover of the book. All the other info is usually found on one of the first pages inside the book. If you are unable to find information needed on the book, Google the ISBN number. ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number. Every book usually has its own unique one. They are usually found above or beneath the barcode. Our example, website. All the info we need to write a bibliography for a website. Of the website, the title of the article or page, the author of the page, the date of publication, the sponsor or publishing company of the website, and the date used. It should be pretty obvious where to find the URL and article title. At the top. Sometimes the website title isn't plainly displayed at the top. Either look at the bottom of the web page or look at the basic URL. For example, look at the URL on this page. The basic URL would be www.helium.com. So the website's title is very likely to be Helium, which it is. APA format. APA stands for American Psychological Association. It is most commonly used to cite sources within social sciences. Cite books in APA format. Follow the following format to cite a book in APA format. Cite books in APA format continued. So here's the format, and here's our example. We filled it out using the information from the book about magic. Citing online sources in APA format. Follow the following format to cite a website in APA format. The author can also be an organization instead of a person. If you cannot get a full date for the date of publication, you can put just the year. This is the day you use the website on. If there is no date of publication, put n.d. in brackets instead. Cite online sources in APA format continued. Follow the format, and here's our example. MLA format. MLA stands for Modern Language Association. It is most commonly used to cite sources within liberal arts and humanities. Follow the following format to cite a book in MLA format. When it writes print period at the end of the citation, it signifies that this source is a book. It is crucial that you put it. If there are 3 or more authors, instead of listing all the authors, list only the first author and write ET space AL. It signifies that there are more authors that are not listed. Cite books in MLA format continued. Here is our format, and here is the example. Citing online sources in MLA format. Just like citing books in MLA format, you have to write web to signify that this source is a website and not a book. The dates are written in a specific format, but notice that there are 2 different dates. One is when the site was created, and the other one is when the date you accessed it and used the information. The author's first name and the date the site was created are optional. But if you can find it, it is better to put it in than to leave it out. If there is no date of publication, put n.d. in brackets instead. The format does not include the website's URL. Chicago format. Chicago format is made by the Chicago Manual of Style. It is most commonly used to cite sources within literature, history, and the arts. Follow the following format to cite a book in Chicago format. If there are 2 authors, list both the authors. Notice that the second author's name is written in normal format. First name, then last name. If there are 3 to 10 authors, still list all of the authors' names. If there are more than 10 authors, list the first 7 authors and then write ETAL to indicate that there are more unlisted authors. Cite books in Chicago format continued. Here is our format, and here is our example. Cite online sources in Chicago format. Here is our format. The date you access the information is optional. You only need to put it when the info on the page is time sensitive. For example, if it is a Wikipedia page, not that you should be using them in reports and such. This is the author of the content of the web page. If that info isn't available, put the website's creator instead. Cite online sources in Chicago format. Continued. Here is our format, and here is our example. Notice that the URL is written in this format. Our example, the outcome. Now examples of the bibliographies will be shown. This is what the final outcome would look like. Here is the MLA format. Here is the APA format. And here is a Chicago format. Notice that in each of the examples, the sources are indented. Most people prefer to indent the first line to the left by at least half a centimeter. Some people even indent by an inch. Thank you for watching this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. These are only 3 of the various ways to cite one's sources. This is a student teaching student production.